Meanwhile, some are taking steps to be storm ready on Oahu. KITV4's Paul Drew shows us a few of the preparations for the wind and the waves. Paul.
While there is some uncertainty over just how much rain we'll get from Calvin, we do know this storm will definitely send us sizable surf, which means preparations are not only taking place on land, but also on the water. You would never guess a tropical storm is headed toward Hawaii based on the activity at Kaneohe Bay. Some boaters enjoyed a leisurely day on the water, but they know there'll be rougher seas ahead.
We're going to just tie extra lines, drop the top, and make sure everything's secure.
That's because winds are expected to ramp up with Calvin. While they are expected to peak around 40 miles an hour, those tropical storm force winds are stronger than are sometimes gusty trades.
So when you get sustained 40-mile-an-hour winds, that means your gusts are into the 50 to 60 mile an hour, depending on your terrain and other factors involved there as well. So you're seeing those gust factors really going higher than our normal trade wind.
Winds that strong can bring down tree branches on land, which in turn could cause power outages. During the last tropical storm to hit the state, Olivia, in 2018, Maui and Lanai were hit by the storm, causing power outages from downed trees and branches and flooding from all the rain. But wind and rain are not the only concerns coming from Calvin.
So the surf is already starting to come in. That east swells. It was a major hurricane only a day or two ago. So with that amount of wind speed producing that swell and moving towards the islands, we're going to get into at least advisory level surf on the east-facing coast of all islands and likely warning levels on the Big Island.
Windward harbors will see the big waves and strong wind. At He'ea Harbor, one of the offshore moored ships sank a while ago, but boaters are ready to help to make sure other vessels ride out the storm safely.
In this harbor, everyone kind of looks out for each other. So if boat owner sees that another boat needs a line or a fender to be moved, that they usually will help out.
And when stormy weather rolls in on Wednesday, boat captains will make the call if conditions are too rough to head out on the water.
You have to use common sense. It's too dangerous, we won't go out. The threshold might be 30 miles an hour, it might be 40 miles an hour, but then you might have thunder, lightning, so you got to make that call too. Now, the easterly surf will be the first impact of Calvin to arrive, and waves will stick around even after the storm has passed. The big waves will really ramp up late tomorrow and peak around noon on Wednesday, then slowly drop through Thursday. Paul Drews, KITV4 Island News.
Thank you, Paul. We'll have much more in the second half of our newscast as we continue tracking Calvin. At 6:30, we'll have what you need to know how the storm is impacting the popular Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, what to do in the event of a power outage, plus how to make sure your home and everything in it is safe.
And you can stick with KITV4 for continuing coverage on Calvin as it nears the islands. Our weather team is tracking the storm and any others that might come up from our Hurricane Tracking Center. You can also check out the latest on our Calvin coverage on KITV.com and across all of our social media platforms.